Once upon a time, beside a peaceful blue pond, surrounded by tall grass and blooming lilies, lived a small turtle named Moss. Moss was tiny, round, and very slow, but he had the kindest heart in the whole forest. His best friend was a young deer named Clover. Clover visited the pond every single day. She would drink cool water while Moss floated nearby, telling funny stories about fish who thought they were singers and frogs who held midnight concerts. One sunny morning, Clover arrived looking worried. "Moss," she said softly, "I need to cross the river today." Moss blinked. "Why?" "My grandmother lives on the other side of the forest," Clover explained. "She's old and sick, and I want to bring her these sweet berries before nightfall." Moss peeked toward the river nearby. Usually it was calm, but after days of rain, the river had become wide, fast, and noisy. "The current is too strong," Clover whispered nervously. "I'm scared I'll get swept away." Moss thought carefully. He was small. He was slow. But he loved his friend very much. "I will help you," he said. Clover smiled kindly. "But you're just a little turtle." Moss grinned. "Little doesn't mean useless." Moss disappeared into the pond for a few minutes. Soon he returned with an old vine wrapped around his shell. "I have a plan," Moss announced proudly. First, Moss slowly crossed the shallow part of the river while carrying the vine. Since turtles were good swimmers, the rushing water didn't bother him too much. When he reached the other side, he tied the vine tightly around a strong tree root. Then he called, "Now you can hold the vine while crossing." Clover carefully stepped into the river. The water pushed hard against her legs, but she held the vine tightly with her mouth and moved slowly forward. Step by step. Splash by splash. Moss swam beside her the entire time. "You're doing great," he cheered. Finally, Clover reached the other side safely. She laughed happily and nuzzled Moss gently with her nose. "You really did save me," Clover said. Moss chuckled. "That's what friends are for." Before leaving for her grandmother's house, Clover picked a tiny white flower and placed it gently on Moss's shell. "For the bravest turtle in the forest," she said. And from that day on, whenever animals spoke about courage, they never talked about the biggest or fastest creature. They talked about a little turtle named Moss, who proved that even the smallest friend can help someone cross the biggest river.